Katie Dahl.
Katie Dahl.
Katie Dahl has friends.
Ooh, she has friends.
Yes, she does. She's got a friend in me.
And she's got a friend in you.
You know that, Katie. Katie Dahl.
Katie Dahl.
Katie Dahl has friends.
Katie Dahl has friends.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while since we've had a Katie Dahl Has Friends, hasn't it? I've missed everyone. Hello. And today we're here with special guest, Lachrisa Grandberry. And we'll bring her on in a minute. But I just want to say hey. And tell us in the comments where you are coming from, will you? I see that there are 4 of you watching. And which 4 of you is it? It could be, Joe Biden could be watching for all we know. We don't know. It could be, my 7th grade science teacher. It could be a lot of things. So let us know who you are. And thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about a lot of great things today. And one of the things I'm interested in talking to Lachrisa about is her experience of writing the show Sunflowered, which is currently playing at Northern Sky Theater, and how it might be similar to or different from... Hi, Will in Austin! Yay! How it might be similar to or different from this new album that I'm making, which is a sort of a new experience for me, and as I think writing a play was a new experience for Lachrisa. So I'm going to do a song from this new album that I'm currently I have a Kickstarter for it right now. Maybe I'll just put on that little banner while we're here. This is the first song that I wrote chronologically for the album, and it's called I Already Knew. I'm learning what I already knew. That I don't get to choose when or how or why or who. Aspens quake and bodies break. I could too. I could too. I already knew. The in and out is all we get to keep. Nose to throat to lung to heart to blood to rosy cheek. Days go by in minutes, the hours last a week. The in and out is all we keep. We all gotta wash in the stream. Not one of us is pure, not one of us is clean. Every one of us is pure, everyone's a holy dream, washed in the stream. There's never been a spring that didn't come. Nothing's ever new beneath the cold winter sun. Hammer, tree, and tap, that sap is gonna run. It's gonna run, and spring is gonna come. already knew that all the mighty millions are really just the fragile few. Empires shake and bodies break. I love you. I love you. I already knew. Yay, I hear the wild applause from all the many corners of the land. I see Lachrisa at the bottom of my screen. I actually see her applause, so I'm just going to bring her on right now, just because why wait any longer for Lachrisa Grandberry?
I'll clap for you.
Yay, thank you.
That was beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Yay. Lachrisa, this is not your first appearance on Katie Dahl Has Friends. In fact, you have appeared every single episode via the theme song.
Yeah. It's been a few years since we did that song.
Yeah, I know. Well, only 2, but yes.
I feel like we did it in the middle of a pandemic, and it was very happy to be doing that for you. I was like I felt very honored, but I feel like we owe you a new one now.
I mean, okay.
Pandemic theme song.
Well, that's right. Fair enough. I wouldn't say no. I would hire you for a new theme song, but I love the one that you guys did. That's Ava Nimmer, by the way, everybody. Chris's co-star.
Yes, yes.
And do you remember why I asked you to do that?
No.
Because did you remember that you made one of your own accord? Yeah.
Oh, now I mean, the moment you said that, I was like, no, but yes, because Ava and I lived together, and we sent you a voice memo, correct? Or
a video.
Or a video. We sent you a video of us singing a made-up Katie Dahl Has Friends song.
Yeah.
Because we are big fans of Katie Dahl Has Friends, i.e. also Friends.
Yeah, right. I know. It's like a Mobius strip or something. It just keeps going around. So Lachrisa, where you are here in Door County, in fact, if we wanted to, we could have been in the same room for this live stream.
We could have.
Yeah. And how long? Tell me why you're here in Door County.
Oh me, oh my. Well, I'm currently in Door County working on this new musical at Northern Sky Theater called Sunflowered. That
you might notice a shirt. I hear it's a hit too. Yeah.
I hear it's a hit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I'm in that show right now. And the bonus is I also wrote it alongside. I wrote it with my co-writer, Aida Pirzada, and co-composed it with my co-composer, Alyssa Rohde.
So exciting. And that's like mostly, and so you're in it, and you wrote or co-wrote all 3 phases of the book lyrics and music of the play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how long, I mean, I know the answer. We're going to get into some questions that I don't know the answers to, but these are just like leading questions to get the rest of everyone on board. By the way, hi everyone. I see now there's 14 of you. If you click like or love or like write in or share or write in comments or whatever, that like super helps us get higher in the algorithms. Hi Melissa Slocum. Hi Marie Witter. Marie Witter says Sunflowered is absolutely wonderful. 3 exclamation points. Here, we'll show it. Marie. And by the way, that picture of Jeff and Marie was taken in Scotland on a Katie Dahl tour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How neat is that?
Oh, and Northern Sky says, we love you, Lachrisa. Break a leg tonight. So nice.
I love Northern Sky so much.
Yay. So, and hi, Nancy. Super nice of you to tune in. I like the star eyes. And my cousin Peter says he needed this today. Oh, I'm so glad. And you're patiently and eagerly waiting for the Seven Stones vinyl because Peter kickstarted, which is so nice. Thank you very much for that. Actually, a lot of people whose names I see in these comments are Kickstarter backers, and I am so grateful. At any rate, I digress. So, Lachrisa, how long had you worked on? How long did it take you to bring Sunflower sort of to fruition?
Well, the seed
Flourition.
the seed was planted in 2018, in the fall of 2018, after I finished my first summer season up here. And then I started sort of brainstorming what I could write about, and then got a first draft going in 2019. Like that summer, we did a reading of a first draft of the show, and we've workshopped it over and over again, and worked on it, many drafts of it on my computer since then.
And was
Yeah.
the first reading of it was I was at a reading that was at that hotel in Sister Bay. Is that the Birchwood Lodge? Is that where the first reading was? That the first reading?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first official reading. That July prior to that reading, we had did a sit down in my living room at the Shady Nook where I lived with Ava and Emmer. Um, and we did a sit down read of it in the living room with some friends because I was like stuck. I was like, I don't know what happens next. And so some friends came over and read it aloud for me and then helped to get to that first draft.
Lachrisa Grandberry has friends. It
I
can be a new
do.
show.
It, it wouldn't be as great as Katie Dahl has friends.
Well, I mean, it's a high bar. Um, so tell me, like, how do you describe Sunflower? Like, if like your elevator pitch or your short description.
I say it's a girls' trip camping style. I believe when I did the interview for the Peninsula Pulse, I was quoted in saying it's a girls' trip, a girls' trip camping style, and they go through the hikes and journeys of life.
Yes, and
Like
there's a
as a
symbolic
metaphor,
sign in the set that says "difficult
difficult
trail."
time.
Right? Yeah.
And it's so funny because some of the very rich moments of the show happens right in front of that sign.
Yeah. Yes, it's very fitting, right? Like,
It
yeah,
is. It is.
yeah,
Um, but I say that. I say it's a show about sisterhood and friendship. It's about learning the meaning of time and what it means to live in the now and what it means to show up for the people you love and what it means to show up for yourself. Yeah. It's a
yeah,
very generational story.
yeah. It
Yeah.
sure is. When I was just singing that, I don't know why I chose that song actually to sing at the beginning, but there's a line in that song that I just sang. The in and out is all we get to keep, and I was thinking about like the opening of your show, which is like
Mm,
this breathing moment, right? Like there's a whole
mhm,
motif of breathing, and
mhm.
I felt myself like breathe deeper when I sang that lyric. Like, oh, it's like it's just that's it's a helpful image, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yes, and
yeah.
take a deep breath. I remember when we had our first audience and I was talking, I think it was to Holly Feldman. I was talking to Holly and Holly said it was either her or Rhodey, but one of them said, because you sort of, have seen what's happening, but then you get in there with a room full of people for the first time, and we all sort of take a collective breath, like both
Mm.
the audience and the people on stage, as
Mm-hmm.
you get into the rhythm of that opening number, and it's like remembering what it means to, oh yeah, every now and then we need to just take a deep breath, inhale and exhale out, and yeah, be
Yeah.
right here, right now.
The the I've heard that thing before that and I'm sure you've heard too about how, you know, audience members of a people who are sitting together in a room, their heartbeats start to get synchronized. Like
Uh,
our bodies start to work in concert as we are in the same place,
uh-huh,
which is so
uh-huh,
amazing and
uh-huh,
cool.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
is
So, So you, so like, I think so, I completely agree. Sunflower is a story of like love and friendship and family and the like in a really deep way. You know, like it's a super deep exploration, rich exploration of those themes.
Yes.
And along the way, like you have to navigate some tricky territory. Yeah, like there's a health scare in
Hmm.
in the very beginning of the play. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and as I understand it, that comes a little bit from your own life experience. Do you want? Could you
Hmm.
talk a little bit about that?
I can. Let me see. How can I navigate this? Like, d- you got to help me, Katie Dahl. Do I just talk freely? I don't know if the people have seen the show.
Oh yeah. Well, great question. I mean, I think you can talk freely. I think people who it's up to you as a playwright, I guess, what you want them to know. But I think if people are like this, you tell them, don't tell them anything they wouldn't hear in the first scene of the play. How's that?
Don't
What
tell
do you
them
think about
anything
that?
they wouldn't hear in the first. Okay. So a lot of times people say because the story is very raw. It's a lot of raw. I say raw material things that we really do go through in life. The reason I think anybody can come and experience it and see themselves or see other people they know on stage is because of the authenticity of the story. And a lot of the background of this particular play has come from my own life and um, I pulled my inspiration from many different parts of my life, but one of the biggest things is one of the main characters have a have a health scare because she is back in the doctors again, going through her routine. She has every 6 months she has a checkup because she was a previous cancer patient, and a part of that story I pulled from my sisters. I have a sister who was diagnosed with cancer when she was 19,
Mm,
I want to say. And the way she got through that was literally all of her sister friends rallying around her and getting her through and standing by and with her and helping her come out above that situation, but also knowing that even now that she's 10 years cancer free now, um even though she still lived with the fear of it coming back, and she still lived with the fear of what happened. Like, the moment something feels weird in your body, you're like, what's happening? What's going on with me? But beyond my sister, my mother had breast cancer and she died at a very early age. My mother died when she was 43.
mm,
And her younger brother, also died when he was 37. And it's something that I have known and experienced a lot of with
yeah.
people clearly at hand's reach. And so the story for me was what does it mean to live right now um, when you have pressing issues like cancer that you're living in fear of or that you're going through, and what does it mean to show up for the people you love right now when life is crazy and chaotic and adulting gets hard.
Yeah. Right. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, that's the name of a song in the show. Adulting is hard, which I love.
Like, how
Yes.
do you do that? It's that song was written in July, Katie Doll.
That adulting is hard. Oh,
Yeah.
like 2 months ago, July? Three
Yeah.
months ago, July? Woo!
Oh yeah, it's October now. That song was written in July. And it was in a time where, we had our COVID breakout here and adulting was hard then. But in sitting down and realizing like, geez, Louise, life was so much easier when we were kids.
Hmm.
Well, maybe. I mean, that's even questionable, but like a lot of the adulting things I don't like, I didn't think about when I was a kid. So I think it was a little easier.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think that's fair. I think there are different things that are hard, right? Like when you're a little
Yeah.
kid, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, did you like so as a viewer, like I would just love to say that this is, you know, to anyone who might be coming, like this is a light and bright and joyful show. And as a viewer, I like shows that feel authentic, like you said, that feel like they're not glossing over the, you know, skipping
Hmm.
along the surface of things. Like I like to go deep. And it's partly what I'm doing in my new album, is like I'm going deeper than I've gone before. So there's like songs on there about being queer. There's songs on there about being about like my about body image and like struggling with that. And that's like stuff that I have not that I've kind of like not I tried not to talk about that much before.
Yeah.
And I feel lately like, oh, you know what? I can't make everyone happy. I can just be like totally honest about what actually is my life.
Yeah.
And so I wonder, like, did you feel like in being, and you address issues of queerness and like
Hmm.
that in family quite a bit in Sunflower
Hmm.
too, like in on either the health stuff or that sort of family dynamic around queerness stuff, did you feel scared to go into that territory as a writer, or how did you feel about that?
Okay, first off, can I say I am very, very excited for your album. I cannot wait. I need this kickstart to happen and to be like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm believing it for you. Um,
Thanks.
so that's one. I am excited because even when you just talked about the body stuff, I just saw a book in a store while I was in Door County, going to stores I didn't need to be going to. Um, and there was a book that said bodies are cool.
Mm,
And it has this imagery of all these different types of bodies that you see, that you actually see.
mm,
And I was like, oh my goodness, where was this
mm.
when I needed it? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I still need it. So I read it. I bought the book, I read it, and then I gave it to a kid. And now I'm like trying to figure out other kids. Like, I'm like, who else do I know that could benefit? It was
I
such a good
love
book.
that. Oh,
Such a good book. So the imagery was everything. Oh, it was so good. I'm gonna have to show you this book now. I might just have to buy it for you.
okay.
So, yes, and there's so many things in Sunflower, and you know, particularly when dealing with health, when dealing with queerness, when dealing with the family structure and family dynamics, um, with dealing with just life in general. It's all hard and very touchy topics. And you know, you say anything too wrong, you make somebody uncomfortable. And I think one of the things that I personally struggled with in a lot of people have been very grateful for giving voice and story to the queer experience in the show and on stage and feeling relatable to it and just very grateful to have seen themselves in some capacity or another within those two character story. And for me personally, it's it's really funny because I remember when Aida and I were talking about like how we navigate each of these women and their love stories. And it's like, well, you know, you have a widow on stage, you have a young married woman with three children on stage, and you have these two single girls who are going sort of their different ways about it. And then you have these two queer women. And Lachrisa's journey lives in almost all of them except not widow or married.
Mm,
But the idea of growing up and constantly being told you got to get a husband, you got to get married, you
mm,
know, you're like nurtured to find somebody else. You're not nurtured to be independent.
yeah.
And so unlearning a lot of that and then and unlearning a lot of that, trying to figure out what it is I want. So there's a line in the show where if you haven't seen it, it's okay, it won't ruin anything. But but Danielle's character says she says she talks about how dating is so hard and something, and the girls go, well, what are you looking for? And she says, I'm not really looking, I'm just remaining open. And I think that's a lot of my life right now. And
Mm.
so even though I wrote this show that has two queer characters, and neither Aida or myself would identify as queer, but I identify as open. I identify as like, let me just experience life and allow life to show me what needs, like, or what I want. Because I am trying to unlearn what everybody else has told me what I should want.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a whole lot of fear though with that, with putting that conversation out into the universe even.
Yeah.
This idea or concept that it's okay not to know
Yeah.
until
Right.
you know.
Right. So for you, does that feel like, how does it feel to have a character say that line that feels like it comes with fear for you? Or you know what I mean? Like, does hearing a character on stage say that line feel like freeing and empowering to you, or does it feel like scary to hear it said out loud, or how does that feel?
Both.
No,
Can it
only
be all
one.
of the above? I'm like, can it be all of the above? No, nine
Yeah.
times out of 10, it does feel empowering. Every time that conversation happens, and it's like, this is real. This is like, you have one who's like, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just whatever being because I don't have the efforts to push either or. And you have the other going, well, I'm trying to leave my options open. So there's
Yeah.
that. And so it feels both empowering and scary because people can be mean.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a better way to say it than mean. There are people who are afraid to embrace the human experience as it is, and so they hold on to the human experience as other has told them it has to be, rather
Mm-hmm.
than just letting people live. And because of that, they're not as open to like hearing people be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
it's
think
both
that's right on.
empowering and scary.
Yeah. I feel like when I wrote the, for anyone watching who doesn't know this, I wrote this show called The Fisherman's Daughters that they did at Northern Sky, thanks, in 2021. And the that moment of there was a moment in that show that I didn't allow myself to write until the workshop. We did a workshop in fall 2019, and um there's this character in the show who's like has a lot of baggage, like of a painful thing that happened in Chicago. She's coming back to Door County, and she has this painful thing that's happened in Chicago. You know how that is, Lachrisa. Chicago. Lachrisa
You
lived in
need a little
Chicago when
breathing
she's not
room.
here. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, right, exactly. The So this character has this like thing that's painful, and I finally wrote in the workshop. I wrote a monologue for her that said, you know, what had happened, that she had a friend, which is what she called this person. It was, in my mind, it was her partner, but that she had a friend who died in living in Chicago, right? And hearing in the workshop, it was Anna Klein reading, who's in Sunflower, reading that part, and hearing her read that monologue for the first time was like freeing in a crazy way for me. Like I would never have thought that that was like a big block for me, that moment of the play or that anything. But that like dislodged something or something. That moment was like
Mm.
crazy to me, just in a reading, you know, just like even in it wasn't even a reading. It was a work. It was like part of the workshop week, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
It was really, that was, so anyway, it can be like a strange thing, I guess, to have your words reflected back to you through another person's mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It
Yeah.
is. It
Yeah.
is. I mean, even on stage, I was saying the other day I did an interview yesterday morning, and I was saying how it was like, how does it feel to be in it and have written it and hear other people experiencing your words while you also experience it with them, but also try to experience it as a writer? I was like, it is an out of body experience every
I
time.
bet. Yeah. I mean, is that like out of body? Like, so that's interesting because you're talking so much like in this interview about being in your body and be, you know, like how do we like do that? So like, does that, I mean, is that out of body in like a, how? Tell me more.
Oh boy. Now I have to no. I'm like I gotta explain these metaphor. No, I think it's one that like it's something that lives so outside of like I can feel the vibrations of it, but I have not fully been able to like feel it in me because I feel like it's so big.
Mm,
Like there
yes.
are some times where you get goosebumps and you're like, "Oh." And there are some times where you feel it in your body. Like they say something, what's the phrase? I don't know, I can't think of it.
But
Butterflies in your stomach or something sprinkling down your spine.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's like that, but times 10, times 20, times 100, because if like my whole body feels like lifted and up and trying to ground myself in this experience, but it really feels like it's so beyond me.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
beyond what
that's
I'm able to take in.
well, ironically, the back of your shirt probably says "Take it all in" because it's the title of a song from the show.
It does. I'm trying. I'm trying.
No, I know what you mean. So it's I guess you're saying like it's an out of body experience. It's like it's so much in your body that it is that it's like too much. It's like it's like you're yeah, it's like you're maybe
Yeah.
it's like you're a pitcher and like there's too much water, like the water just like spills out at some point because there's like not room
Yeah.
for more.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
At a
Yeah.
certain point, I feel like I'm floating.
Yeah. I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
Do you feel like do you feel like how are you able to take it in? Sometimes like for me I feel like I'm able to take some of it in when people tell me directly like what effect something had on them. Like do you feel that way? Like does hearing direct descriptions of people's experience like kind of land?
Yes, 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 yes. And I have been to every afterglow
That's
that
these
we've
like
had.
fires that we have like after we I'm like the Northern Sky
You were
pretty
there.
adjacent but I'm very Northern Skyish myself so we have these fires after the show and that's what she and they talk and sing so that's what the afterglow is.
Yeah, I've been to every afterglow, and some are small and some are big, whether or not it's medium, I don't know. It's always intimate. But I there was one afterglow and a patron who came to see the show with a group of friends, and she said, "Can I have a word with you privately?" And I said, "Yeah." You never know what to expect with those. And she held my hand and she said she was very grateful for once again the representation of the queer actors on stage and that family experience because at least four of them who were with her had queer children.
Mm,
And so they were very grateful for that representation. And then she goes, and I'm currently battling the same disease. And she felt so seen and so heard and so understood. And she felt inspired. And she just cried as she told me this. And then I cried because that was such a vulnerable thing to share. And I was like, it's one of those things where it's like, all the validation I need is that it's for one person. Like,
yeah,
the fear of putting a show out there, putting your words out there for the world to sort of see, experience, and judge, maybe. It's like, I don't know. You want it to be liked, but also it might not. Who knows? You can't please everybody, as you
yeah,
said. And so in my mind, I live in like small numbers. I'm like, if one person is moved, if one person is impacted, then I did my job.
yeah,
And so every time a new person comes with a new story and someone new is lifted, inspired, and motivated and moved by this story in this show, oh, it does numbers on me. I'm like,
yeah,
all I needed was one, and you all have given me 10.
yeah.
Like, it's just like, what am I gonna do with all this? Because I'm so full of gratitude right now. I I'm like, I don't know. It's honestly sometimes hard when I go to work because the parts of the story that are it's such an emotional roller coaster. You laugh a lot, you cry a lot, you laugh a lot again. And the parts of the story where you have to be sort of deep into the emotions sometimes becomes difficult for me because I'm so full of gratitude.
Get
I'm
away,
like,
gratitude. I'm
I'm like,
sad.
so yeah. I can't be happy right now. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
And so it gets hard because I'm like, it's there's so much goodness around it. There's so much joy around it. And people's experiences as they tell me their experiences makes me so full that when it's time to go on stage, I'm like, I gotta release some of it a little bit so I can do this show.
yeah. We've got people on the comments. Nancy says, "Thank you so much for putting your personal and painful experiences in Sunflower, Lachrisa. So many of us are dealing with this."
Oh,
So nice.
yeah.
And Noelle Rowden says, "Please speak freely. That show made me cry."
Oh,
So nice.
and I think the beauty of it. I was a little sad at first, not sad, guilt. I felt bad initially. I felt bad because I was like, oh, people are sad. But then they weren't sad. They were moved. They were leaned
Yes.
in
Yes.
and they were like, Patty Williams, the very first time she saw the show, she came to open a night and she said, Lachrisa, my high school writing teacher told me that it's really difficult to write and make people cry. And then she said, and it's even harder to write to make people laugh.
Hmm.
And then she said, and you were able to do both over and over again.
Mm.
So I say you did a job well done. Because that means
Yes.
people are leaning into the human experience and embracing this human experience. So
Yes.
then I was like,
100%.
okay, good.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's so true. And like, I think that like I'm working on a couple new shows. One of them with James Falk, who's as the composer, and he said like we were talking about this show they're working on, and he said, like we need the lightness of these like we need a lot of light moments. You need a lot of light moments in order to be able for the not heavy moments, but the more like more serious moments, I guess, to land really fully. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's so true. Like you really need both things, and you need it in life. Like, as
Yeah,
for me, that's like what I want in a show all the way. Like I want to
yeah.
feel a lot of things, that I want to laugh a lot, and I want to and I that's totally what Sunflower did. Awesome. It's awesome.
Yay!
Yay. Um and like I feel like I was thinking about when you were I this the song that I wrote of all the songs on my album, I feel like the one that I've played live that people have come up to me most about is the one about body image, the one that is like really raw and open about that. And I think it's because we don't get to explore that very much, like, and especially not in like a collective place,
Yeah,
yeah, we need to think about those things, I think,
yeah,
or talk about them. Yeah.
yeah. I couldn't agree more. I am I am I mean, first off, it's always a work in progress of like, the journey of embracing your body in this world that does not always teach you to embrace everybody's body. This is why I love that book. Bodies are cool. Because they're so I can't wait for you to see it, Katie Doll. I
I can't wait
cannot wait.
either.
But I think about this particular show, Sunflower, and we don't do much body exploring, but you know what I will say? For me personally, it is the first show that I've done and have seen besides Hairspray. I have to think about this, but where a plus size girl can live in her body and be the protagonist character. And not only that, I don't have to, it's a musical and I don't have to sing all these belts and soprano notes. I
Yeah.
can sing in my body. Like,
Yes.
I can
Yeah.
sing for me.
Yeah. Totally. Totally, totally, totally. I mean, it's like, yes, I think that is so great. And that stage is amazing. It is full of bodies that are different in like so many ways. Like everyone up there has different bodies, and it like that feels like such a gift for us to see, and it's never like the butt of a joke, or like we're not like laughing about anything. We're just like
They're
experiencing these.
being.
Yeah, they're
They're
being
just up there
exactly.
being in their bodies and living. Like there are other challenging conversations, but who you are, like your image is just you,
Yeah.
and nobody gets to like adjust or change or anything, like, do anything to that.
Yes. Well, I think so I would like, here's what I want to have happen now. Roadmap. I would like for you to share something with us, if you wouldn't mind, like a poem perhaps. And I think I will sing this song about bodies, since we seem to be talking about bodies so much. I think I'll sing this song. And would you rather go first or second? Would you rather go after or before I sing?
Well, how about this? Because we have been talking about bodies, and I opened my poetry book, but I don't think this poem is in this book per se right now, but I know exactly where it is. And how about I go second, because then I can open this poem that I wrote about bodies.
Okay, perfect. Great. So I'll take you off the screen and I'll sing my
Sounds
song
good.
and then you come back. Okay. Yeah, so folks, if you didn't hear me telling you about this yet. Okay, by the way, person whose name I don't know, the lyrics to I Already Knew, you can get them. If you Google I Already Knew Katie Dahl music video, maybe it'll come up. There's a whole video with them written out. So yes, you can find it. And then it'll be out on my new album, Seven Stones, which is coming out in January, but you can pre-order it now via a Kickstarter campaign, which is running for 2 more weeks. That's how you do that. And if you're just joining us, this album is sort of a new. I'm delving into some new territory on this album, and I was just talking to Lachrisa about. I'm going to take out my headphones because I would like to be able to hear myself better. I was just talking to Lachrisa about body image and stuff, and this is a song about that I'll play for you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, while I'm tuning, I'll say that this is a mini series. This is a short season of Katie Dahl Has Friends. There are 2 more episodes. One is next week, a week from tomorrow. Emily White is our guest. She's a songwriter, dear friend of mine, songwriter from Chicago. And then on the 25th, the producer of my record, Julie Wolfe, is joining us, and that is going to happen on Tuesday the 25th. So stay tuned. All these things will be findable. Okay, so here's this song. It's called Since I Was 8. I've been trying to lose weight since I was 8, 'cause I saw a picture of myself jumping into a lake. I've been playing in the water for most of the day. Now the sun had set down most of the way, big orange balls sinking into the gray. Me just jumping into the waves. I threw the picture away. Someone must have taught all the other little girls the rules, how to eat their cake and have this too. Someone must have taught all the other little girls what to do, how to want 'em all but take only a few, how to be flat and thin and new. Except that all the other girls seem to feel bad too. What a waste I'm not the kind of girl who cares what anybody else might say. I only hate myself a few hundred times a day. Then a few hundred more for feeling that way. Get hit by the bullet and the ricochet. It's a game I don't know how not to play. How does anybody learn to say, hey, not today? It's a waste of time. What a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. It's such a waste, and I don't have that kind of time. Nobody has that kind of time. I've been trying to lose weight since I was 8. 'Cause I saw a picture of myself jumping into a lake. Thank you, thank you. Put these back in. We'll put Lachrisa back on.
That was beautiful.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks.
all the feels. Also, so visual.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you for
thanks.
sharing that, Katie
Oh,
doll.
yeah.
I can see. I can, he said it's one of the ones that have moved the people. I can feel it. I can feel it.
Oh,
I can
thanks.
feel it. This is
What you
me. This is
got?
all right. I'm going to share with you. So I wrote this poem. Um, I was working on a commission because I've become a writer overnight. And but I've always written poetry and I love to write poetry. So it's called A Body's a Body. And it
You want
goes,
to be by yourself? Should I take myself off the screen? That's what I'll do. I'll do that. We'll just
oh
listen to
well,
Lachrisa.
oh, oh, it's so weird. You're gone. Okay. Here we go. A body's a body, no matter the body, it was made for you. Be it a soft body, hard body, slink body, full body, tall body, short body, new body, old body, stocky or frail, or shaped like a pear. However, the body, whatever the body, it's yours. A body created just to fit you, and there's no other body like you. A body's a body, no matter the skin it wears. Every body is specially clothed in skin that wrinkles over years. Be it light skin, dark skin, bright skin, bronze skin, sweet skin, tart skin, oily or dry, or as soft as rye. However, the skin, whatever the skin, it's yours. And your skin was perfectly made to crown the body you get to wear. A body's a body, no matter the skin, and no matter the organs we share. Be it a girl body, a boy body, a them body, a they body. However, the body, whatever the body, the gender you choose is yours. And whatever the gender you choose will perfectly fit in the world we share. A body's a body, no matter the skin, no matter the organs, no matter the way it moves, whether it run or walk or roll or limp or swim or trip or dance or stretch or simply take its time. However you move, whatever you move, the body you move is yours. Your body will do as your body does as it flourishes throughout the world. As you move and groove in your awesome body and skin and organs we share, remember the most important part of the body is the person it wears. However, the body, whatever the skin, no matter the organs or how we bend, the person you are is up to you. So be a kind person, compassionate person, generous person, and fair. Be full of lights, be full of love, be someone who truly cares. A person your body and skin and organs and joints will be extremely proud to wear.
Yay! Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's so great. Talk about visual. I love all the ways that the bodies could move, roll and limp.
Take your time.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. I'm
Yeah.
excited for this book of poetry that is going to happen. When's that going
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna
happen?
really. Oh boy, yeah. Ask me publicly so I can put a date
Oh
to
no,
it.
I don't want. No, 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 don't. Pretend I didn't ask. You don't have to tell me.
It's a good push. It's a good push. It's gonna happen soon. I really. It
Okay.
has to happen soon because I have over 80 pages of poetry that have just been sitting in my lap, and most of it is all typed up in book format, and some of it, like the one I just read, has not made it to the pages of the book, but has made it on my computer somehow.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and so it's a good motivation. I am going to release this poetry book at some point.
Yay. Oh, I
Some
can't
point
wait.
soon.
Some point soon. In the meantime, everyone should go to Northern Sky Theater, you guys. Let me see. I'm going to put that link up again. Yeah, you because Sunflower runs through when?
October 29th, 3 more weeks.
And it runs every night except for Sunday.
Correct.
And there's matinees also on Saturdays,
There
in
are
addition to an
matinees.
evening show.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and you should look on the calendar because the very last week we don't have evening shows Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
But but otherwise, typically Monday through Saturday with a matinee on Saturday.
And I have to say, in addition to all the love I have showered on Sunflower, ooh, rhyme, in this hour, I would also say that like the Gould, the experience of going to a show at the Gould in the fall is like, I mean, in the summer too, but is so great. Like the afterglow, these fires we're having are like so nice. And they just feel like magical out there. It's a beautiful fire ring. You can get beer, you guys, and chocolate covered sunflower seeds. So
I saw that.
yeah,
I haven't tried it.
Guthrie will tell you about how great they are. He is a big
Oh,
fan.
okay. I gotta trust Guthrie.
Totally. Guthrie
Well,
had a good time even at the show. And do you remember what he asked you at the afterglow?
he said, "Am I still fun?"
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you just watched her be fun.
I know. I did. I said, "Was I fun in the show?" He said, "Yeah." Still work. I still got it. Um, Katie Doll, I am really excited about this album.
Oh, thanks. We'll
When
put that
when
link.
does it officially release? Because I should know this, huh?
It officially releases, I think, unless something happens that's weird, it'll release at the end of January, which is really exciting. And
Oh, that is
yeah,
so exciting.
so this Kickstarter campaign where you can pre-order it and get other cool stuff goes through October 25th. So that is just 2 more weeks, and then until then, after that, we just have to wait until the album comes out. But
Right.
if you order on Kickstarter, you get it early. You get early album, so it's worth it.
So I should go on Kickstarter right now and make sure I order my
That's right.
early album. I want it early.
Yeah, okay. If you
Okay.
want it early, that's what you should do. Kickstart
Okay.
katiedoll.com for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make sure I go kickstart
Yeah.
KatieDoll.com.
Yeah,
I won't be at the very last minute. I'll be close to it because I'm gonna do
yeah. Lachrisa, thank you so much for coming on this show. You are the best, and I'm so glad that you've been here all summer and fall long. I've gotten to see you quite a bit. I mean,
I
not as much as
know.
I'd like, but we keep running into each other in a way that's nice.
We got to go shopping together last week, so I
We
count that
sure
as a plus.
did. I know. And you got a sweater, and I got a shacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shack it. That's
That's
it.
what
I
that
love that.
apparently is called. That's a thing. So,
Ah. Well, and
um,
they're both really nice.
they're both really. I've been wearing mine a lot. I really like it.
I wore mine
So,
the other day too.
yeah, good. Okay, you guys. Now you know Lachrisa as the singer of the Katie Doll theme song. In addition to all of her other accolades, so she is going to sing us out Thanks for joining us. Don't forget next week, Emily White on Wednesday the 19th, and then Julie Wolfe is coming on Tuesday the 25th. All right. Thanks all. Bye-bye.
Katie Dahl.
Katie Dahl has friends.
Katie Dahl has friends.
Yeah.